What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory Monday. That's right, our fifth edition of the old Victory series, and boy, I could get used to this. So let's effing go. Just to begin, Eagles 5-0 defeating the Los Angeles Rams. And my Lord, this team just continues to get better and excitement in the air. So I appreciate each and every one of you taking the time. This is another one of those shows just for you, the fan, to tune in, and we get to talk about all of the things from the game we saw in case you missed the post-game show or the snap count show from earlier, breaking things down. You can always go check those out, but we're here live taking all of your questions, comments, whatever's on your mind, but we're here to celebrate, baby. The Eagles with another victory this year, and this one we talked about it, going in there and really showing off what this team is capable of. I thought this offense went out and showed you that Jalen Hurts can beat you with his legs. Anything he wants to do, he can do that. And Devontae Smith had one catch. You had A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert both going over 100 yards. This defense, patchwork defense. First, you started off with Goodrich. You saw some Eli Ricks, and then finally you get some Roby. And I think Roby is proving that to bring him in as the starter at nickel so that we can have James Bradbury back outside. I think his veteran presence will help out. And as much as I like Ricks and I like Job and I like Goodrich, I like their future, right? Right now, I want to win, and I want to win the Super Bowl. And that, unfortunately, without Avonte Maddox, looks like Bradley Roby could be that piece. So we talked about it. Could he learn the system quick enough to play? And he sure as shit did. And he looked, as much as everybody had their mistakes, he looked like probably the best option, in my opinion. And I think most people probably feel that way, even if, they're just reacting. That's perfectly fine. I think, he was able to show what he could do in a couple days. Let's see what he can do once he gets his system down. So excited about him and very pumped up. But I want to hear what you guys think. Obviously Jalen Carter showing out. We had all kinds of great stuff going down. We talked about it last night, but again, we always have these victory series, and I'm happy to be here on another Victory Monday. We've had Victory Tuesday, Victory Friday here, so a wild season so far, but let's keep putting up those W's. That's all we can ask for this team, and we know that they're going to continue to build and get better, and that's all we can ask for. And the media is going to try to pinpoint. I saw something. They're like, they're kicking too many field goals. It's always something. You remember what Jalen Hurts said, he can't pass. Do here. We've got them, and I love every second of it. They're going to have to keep moving those goalposts, especially those Cowboys fans. After that straight ass beating that they caught last night, what a way to end the night. You get the Eagles victory. Your heart's still pounding a little bit. You're finally calming down. You're like, all right, let's watch these Cowgirls get their ass. Oh, and ass kick they did. Oh boy, was it bad. But do I think we make a move? Well, we'll talk more about that closer to the deadline. I think right now we've made all the moves we need to. We're getting Nakobe Dean back this week, so very excited here. Roby definitely looks solid indeed. And, one thing you have to realize is he just got signed the other day. So once he starts learning this stuff, he's only going to get better. So I'm all about it. And on the road to victory, we are, my man. Let's go. But no, I don't think that we need one at all. I thought Justin Evans and Reed Blankenship played great, and they continue to play great. It was great to have Evans back. Now we just need Sidney Brown, and you guys know how much I wanted him in this draft. So you'll feel that way as that third safety, a guy that can line up as a nickel. He can line up as a dime backer. There's so many roles for him. His versatility really is going to shine here. We talked about being patient. Now, we've had some injuries and things happen where we're going to need that a little bit sooner than later. So I think you're definitely going to see Sidney Brown shining a lot more. But if the Eagles want to add somewhere that I always make a show for anybody that's new. I always have those shows. I know you guys love that stuff. The trade deadline, all the Tyreek Hill, Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, whatever else everybody wants to talk about. We will break it all down, and I will tell you what kind of money, is going into each player, all that stuff that you need to understand to be able to talk about that stuff. And you always see it with the media each year. We got to trade for this guy and that. And we try to make some sense of it here. So I will definitely do that for you guys. Do not fear. The deadline is October 31st. And we got a few weeks there. So do not fear. I will talk about that. But right now, I'm excited about my Eagles. What is up, my man, Alex? Nice to see you again tonight. Very, very excited about this. This team comes out here each week and every time, you hear somebody, oh, well, we got to get this, we got to trade, we got to do this. And it's always something Madden, right? You got to, oh, we have to do something. It's like, no, what we have to do is build on what we have here and this team will get better. And you keep seeing it each week. Now, when there are injuries, things like that, you can't help. That's why you sign someone like Bradley Roby. We talked about bringing in a veteran. That is exactly what happened. You have young guys competing with them, but they all got thrown into the fire so that you could see who wants to win this job, who can actually play this defense. So I think Roby is your answer there. That's great. And look, that's just off a very small sample size, but I think the more he continues to learn this defense, the better off this team will be. And, safety, again, Sidney Brown coming back, that's going to be huge for this defense. Fletcher Cox will be back. Nakobe Dean comes back this week. So I think we're all right there. Now, on the offensive side of the ball, I don't think you really need to add. It's just less Quez Watkins, more Olamide Zaccheaus at wide receiver for me. Running back, I'm perfectly fine there. Use more DeAndre Swift, less Kenny Gainwell. We've done that more and more each week. Continue that. I just really, Sue Opeta held it down at right guard. Obviously some mistakes there, but I thought he did fantastic. Aaron Donald did nothing. So for me, this team, just keep building and everybody will be on board soon enough. So, and I'm sure there's all kinds of names out there, man, and you're going to hear it each week. We've been talking about it since, the preseason, Buda Baker, all the names you're going to hear. And you can go back to those old videos if you guys want to hear that stuff. You want to see the money, their contracts, all that stuff. I always have that out for you. You can go to the playlist, show me the money. You can see all that stuff. But, for me, I think we just need to continue building on this team. And as I've explained, every week here with Rashad Penny, the team just feels that the other running backs are better than him. So he's the fourth running back. And I honestly, I had higher hopes for him, right? We thought he was going to do something here, did absolutely nothing to really show out. And I think that, it's perfectly fine that this running back room is working out the way it is. So, okay, but I thought he was going to be used. I thought at least you could use him as a kick returner, do something, but they just don't like it. And I told you, my source told me they're just not a fan, him above any of those other guys. So unless it comes to injury, you're not going to get any of that stuff. So, yesterday, we laughed about how, Jalen Hurts can't do this. He can't do that. So the last couple of weeks, you've seen, 300-yard games. A couple of times he could have had 300-yard game, but you run the ball when you're winning. And you heard like, oh, they need to get style points. They're going to put up more points. No, they don't. They just have to win the game. That is the key here. And Jalen Hurts continues to show that he and Brian Johnson getting on the same page here. And, each week it's fire this guy, trade this guy. Always something drastic has to happen. And I don't feel that that's what this team – I don't think this team is in panic mode at all just because the media and a lot of fans are. I think this team is perfectly fine with who they are. They know that they have injuries. They know that they have new coordinators. They're going to build on those things. So, you saw 70 rushing yards from Swift, but he had over 100 yards, on the ground and in the air together. So I think that he shows that he is a huge piece. Dallas Goedert gets involved. You heard me pregame. It's time to get him involved here. You see how many weapons can destroy someone. You throw for over 300 yards with Devontae Smith only having one catch. That's beautiful stuff right there. So I think this offense just – man, the Quez Watkins, we talked about that play where he just doesn't literally hit the lane right in front of him to get the first down, drove me insane. And, we talked about this since Olamide needs to be a part of this offense, and he only saw like 9% snaps, and Quez saw over 50%. So I'm just going to sit here and keep saying it. You need to get Olamide more of those reps. So to me, you have in-house options to make you the Super Bowl champion. I don't think that you have to do anything crazy, but if they want to, if there's a great deal out there, you see teams like the Broncos selling house, maybe you go after Justin Simmons. But for me, Reed Blankenship and Sidney Brown are the future at safety. This defensive side of the ball, we're stacked. Interior defensive line, edge rushers, linebacker, Dean coming back, we're good there. The corners, I think Roby's pretty much your answer with all those young guys in there. And then the safeties, we've talked about that. So for me, I love this team. I'm very confident in them. And I know it gets annoying, and I know a lot of people try to counteract what I say, but I'm just trying to show people that this team is going to get better. And each week we break down how, and we break down how they're going to beat their opponent. And that will begin tomorrow. Behind Enemy Lines already got it started for the New York Jets. We'll break down everything we need to know about them. You'll take a look at all the stats, standings, the roster, their injuries, everything going on. we will break down throughout the week how the Eagles can beat them, continue to build on this. And I talked about it, going undefeated through this, to the bye here. That's what we'll focus on this first half of the year. And then you find your identity and you go smoke all those really good teams. I think this team is to keep surprising people, see people changing their opinions on this team. So let's effing go. But Howie's always wheeling and dealing. That's something people have to understand. I know everybody wanted him fired last year, and it was, but as I keep trying to say, you have to realize this dude, he stays cooking. It never stops. Gotta go to the elevate, man. Though he hasn't shot Roby. Well, here's what has to happen. Nothing, because Juergens went to the IR, so you have an open spot. So Braden Mann can't be elevated anymore. He just did that for time. He has the active roster. So unless you plan on bringing someone else to the squad and elevating them 3 times because you didn't like what he did, because really he hasn't done much, you can do that. But what you need to figure out is Nakobe Dean coming back, and that's why you throw all these corners into the fire, because you can let one of them go, hope that you put him on the practice squad, but you have 2 more elevations for Roby there, so he doesn't have to be on that active roster. You decide in the next couple of weeks if he is truly that answer. If not, then you make a trade. Also, the possibility he gets traded a running back need team for a late round pick. Roby traded for a running back. I'm not sure what you mean, or are you talking about Penny maybe? And look, you definitely could try to trade him, and that's something we've talked about, but I don't know how much you get for him. Do you think they signed Mann to the roster? And that's something I was just mentioning there. My man BMO, appreciate you tuning in. Look, it's up to them right now. There's an open roster spot. I think the way that they haven't brought anyone else in, to be on that practice squad, I would at least had him, this week, so a couple weeks to do things. But hey, maybe they feel, okay, we'll give it another week. But I don't think they want to mess with Jake Elliott, what he's got going on, too much. He's been holding the ball well. So as much as it's like, punt's not exactly the greatest, he's getting the holding done. So whatever. I think that they will add him to the active roster. But if not, I'm not going to be mad about it. He hasn't exactly been spectacular. So we'll see. Benny's burst. And look, he just kind of doesn't fit what we're doing here. I think he's more of that I formation kind of back, and they don't really run I formation anymore. You could just say like a single back. But I think that, the quarterback under center, not the RPO style that we run with. So it is what it is, man. I wanted him to, be something, but they don't see it. So I'm not going to disagree with them. And yeah, we want everyone to stay healthy for sure. Don't want anyone injured. That is definitely always going to be something I will agree with. I never want anyone to be hurt on this team. I see that, in my opinion, be bigger back. Well, look, they don't want another bigger back. They have one. They don't feel that they need something like that. They think Kenny Gainwell can run their tough yards. You see him down in the goal line, the short yardage. That's just their philosophy. They don't need what people think they need. That's just, it's the way they see it, and it works out. And, I'm going to ride with them because it keeps continuing to work. And you have that compliment here, but that's just not how they see it. And they're right. That's how this offense works. And I'm perfectly fine with it, because when you have short yardage, well, you kind of have Jalen Hurts. Even though Christmas guy, you could have at least tried to run over. Well, that's not part of his game. That's just kind of something we've seen over and over again. And that's why I keep pushing for OZ. But, and look, it's not even about giving up. It's just kind of more reps for OZ, less for Quez, because I think OZ gets that slot stuff done that you're looking for. Quez is just a burner. He's not a slot wide receiver. So I said it all off season, and I like him, but I don't like him as like this piece that some people think he is. He's a speedster, and that's about as far as it goes. Extend Swift, well, that's something that they will definitely consider. We'll see how this year goes, but running backs are a dime a dozen, and we can always look to add in free to draft whatever they want to do. And we talked about Justin Simmons a minute ago. I think that anything is possible with the Eagles, but I really like our safeties. I really do like Sidney Brown a lot, and I know I've not stopped talking about him since before the draft, but I'm telling you, people will jump on board this train with this kid. He is a stud. He's just really, I've seen some atrocious ones and then a decent one or two maybe, and it's just kind of, but whatever, dude. Sippo sucked too. So my man Drew, let's go. Yo, my dude, really appreciate you sending me those beautiful effing pictures. I just want to tell you, it made me instantly jealous. I was just like, oh, I'm not instantly jealous. I was actually happy for you first. The hell was that? Whatever, dude. My internet doesn't work anymore. Nothing does. I'll just continue to get kicked in the sack over and over again. But my man Drew tuning in. I don't know if you heard me, but I was giving you a shout out, dude. Those pictures were awesome, dude. I'm very happy for you and the fam. Appreciate you tuning in, my dude. Hope all is well. But yeah, he really hasn't been. So, we'll see what they decide to do. So, yeah, they have to. He just went through his third, as we just mentioned there. So, and look, that's just the way it goes, man. And look, I wanted him to be, can't be elevated anymore, my man. This team doesn't go by the fan base and the media. That new, like, kind of always give up attitude, that's not them, dude. These guys are going to fight. And we talk about that every week. We don't give a shit about these negative Nancy's. This team is going to come out and punch people in the mouth. And yeah, they've had issues, but they know these issues, and mostly because of the new coordinators and these injuries that we kind of know those things are going to hinder you. So the fact that they've been able to learn and grow while going 5-0, well, let's effing go. Keep that rhyming, I guess. But I love it, man, and I'll keep preaching. I don't care, man. I believe in this team and what they're able to do, and I think people are finally starting to see it, baby. And look, you'll see people. I think people are going to keep backtracking. They're going to have to because they didn't know what was. I think everybody's going to have to get on track here with the Eagles because, hey, if they were lost, I told them the past few weeks, jump on now before you miss this train. And no, look, to me, I would use Swift all the time, even goal line. I don't even care, man, if you're not going to use Penny, but they really like Kenny G. And there have been times that he looked really good, especially last year and in the playoffs. But this year, not so great. I think he's averaging 3.2 yards per carry. Looked good in the past game. Had some good blocks yesterday. So I know he's still young. He's a little guy, built on some things, and he's got a high future. But I like him more in the 30% range like he was yesterday. 60-some% range for DeAndre Swift. And it could go 70s and 20s in there if you need, man. That's what you want. 75-25. I'm all about it. But China, nice to see you in here. And Drew, what the hell, dude? I just thought about this. What effing time? Again, it's probably almost 2 a.m. over there for you. You sick son of. I love it. I love it. Love it. Yo, man, I think that Jalen Hurts is just something phenomenal. And obviously we all know the amount of shit I got for, believing in the kid. But how awesome was that, because I did the past few years, I reached out and bringing on his trainer, his chef, learning from people that knew this kid and how insane he is. We talked about how strong he was and how dedicated, how good he was being teacher, what he was going to learn. And dude, you see, like, he's just a running back. Well, he can run you over like a running back, but he can also kill you in the pocket like he's Peyton Manning. So one of the best in the pocket. I do not care what anybody wants to say. Oh, you can't do it. Nope. They're going to have to keep moving those goalposts. Numbers don't lie. And he's him. He is him. But, dude, I always say it. Let them keep hating. We'll keep educating. I'm telling you, they'll be on board. They'll be, I'll tell you what, I'm the first guy. I'll say it right now. The Eagles are building a dynasty. I mean, they do it every year. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Yeah, you're just repeating everything I say. It's insane to have to wait so long. Like, yeah, we took Jalen Carter. That's who we wanted. You know what I mean? It's like, not showing me. So, all right. I guess it's just going to freeze up like this, dude. When I tell you guys how much I would like to smash all of this stuff, if it wasn't the only stuff I had to work with, I would happily do it. But it's just, it's insane. And yeah, no doubt, man. And nice to see you in here, dude. I'm doing good. Definitely happy to get another victory here. Heart was pounding again yesterday, but a much better win there. And hope you're doing great over there in Germany. Always appreciate you taking the time, especially late night stuff. Sandy Brown says more comfortable nickel being close. Well, I don't know how true that is either, but we talked about it in pre-draft. That's something he did in college. He can play all over the place. He's comfortable doing whatever. He'll do whatever it takes to help this team out. So love it. And hey, man, he's a winner, and that's what this is all about. Dude, he is. I like DeAndre Swift a lot. You guys know we talked about, when I made that should we trade for DeAndre Swift video. That was awesome. The next day when we traded for him, I'm very big fan. No, we were talking about that earlier, Tim. He is due back this week, and they do play special teams. You can go check out that snap count video from earlier, but don't think you would see too much from Cunningham there. But it's going to be a good problem to have, and put him in the dirt is what we do. Appreciate you tuning in, my dude. Let's effing go, Birds. And yes. Dean, sorry if you guys missed any of those videos throughout the last few weeks, but check out those injury videos. Check out the breakdowns, anything like that. Always keeping you up to date with every single injury, who's on the verse, all of that stuff. And they're going to be going through it. And dude, I'm going to be standing right here, keeping this ship going in the right direction as I have the last few years. Let them hate, man. I do not care. They do not know what they're talking about. They have proven that. I mean, they have proven that. And dude, I don't give a shit what content creator or if it's a national media person or a fan. Like, dude, they just don't. Most of them have no idea what they're talking about. And it's hilarious because you guys know I take them to the woodshed every year and I enjoy it because as I tell them, you will be bending the knee. And I promise, well, I never actually said anything bad. It was actually, and it's like, yeah, I know. Trust me. It's like effing Groundhog's Day. And dude, I can't wait to see because it was Dean and Cunningham starting. And we talked about that, though, because people are like, oh, well, Morrow was cut. It's like, yeah, but what did I say? This is why I make videos about the cap, so you understand everything. He was liable to be cut anyway, just because of the fact that his contract does not become guaranteed. Okay, so if he's on the roster week 1, 100% guaranteed his contract. If he's on the roster after week 1, 25% of that contract is guaranteed. That's a big difference. And, you don't know how he's going to pan out. Now, when the injury happened, it forced their hand. They had to bring him back. Dude, it made sense. But now it's like, okay, he's playing well. Cunningham's playing well. So, again, I think you could have a way to use 3 of them, but Dean's, I think you could at least take a little bit more time to gradually get him back, but he's a part of this defense, a big part. He's going to be the leader with that green dot. So whether we want to play Morrow in that other role, and we've talked about that, it's not really about like, oh, middle linebacker, weak side, because these guys, they're interchangeable. They got to be able to play different roles. And I think Dean and Morrow, I'd be happy with that. I'd be happy with Dean and Cunningham. I'd rather they stay the same it is. It's going to be a good problem to have, and it's wild. You got to see what we have first. So we're getting to see it, and I'm liking what I see. Hey, better late than never. Appreciate you tuning in. And back in my day, yeah, just cut out and but yes, he sure is, and love me some DeAndre Swift. Cunningham will be the starters. Cunningham, we'll see, man. But Nakobe Dean is the future. I know a lot of people don't like him, but boy, I can't wait for him to come back. Roby is the guy making the secondary unstoppable. That's hilarious. He did good in those, like that 20-30% of snaps he played. He definitely came in and did well. So happy that he got on the page, but got to get him up to speed, and he'll do even better. So I am excited about that. And go check that bad boy out. It's got snap count for offense, defense, special teams, everything you need to know. Always keeping you up to date with everything. I think Morrow and Dean will be the starters. Well, Dean is the future here. They like him a lot. And look, we'll see, again, how they rotate it. But I'm excited about it either way. And, oh, my God, Jalen Carter eating souls, baby. One step closer to winning that Defensive Rookie of the Year. And, they'll be on board with that one. I can tell you that soon, man. Oh, man, he's a stud. We talked about generational talent before the draft, and that was the guy, not any kind of running back. So, yeah, they see it now. Draft Jalen Carter. Hope he's in. I don't think he will at all. Justin, what? And he's just fine. He had an injury there, so excited to see him back. But yeah, Cunningham is the tackling guy, and Morrow is your coverage guy. And it's definitely going to be a tough call, but we talked about Cunningham well in coverage, even though, his struggle throughout his career has been the coverage. So they're both doing well, man. It's a good problem to have. And, how well he's been doing against the run is what makes it so difficult. So it's great to see whether you try to stop the pass, the run, you got guys that can do both. So hey, I'm very happy. A lot of people were. Morrow was doing well, in my opinion. And, you saw the media people, oh, he's not good. Whatever, dude. They make shit up. They told us Hurts was doing terrible, getting stacked ghosts, and needed to be traded last year. So you all saw what happened when I showed up. Being out those weeks, feel like maybe, sometimes with an injury, maybe your body has to take time, but I think he'll be all right. Not a problem trying to rotation, different positions. Hey, look, exactly. They'll get a feel for what they got going on here, see how Jacoby does, and we'll see, how they rotate those three guys in. I think that this team, obviously, they know what they want to do here, and they had those pieces for a reason. It's a good problem to have here, and that's what we talked about. You got to be able to see what we've got here. We need to make a decision on what's going on, so I was all about it. I'm with you on that 100%. Yeah, dude, laughable. I explained it throughout the whole draft that they F up and let the Eagles get Jalen Carter, the best player in this draft. We're going to be laughing all the way to the bank, baby. And, well, here we are laughing all the way to the bank. So, and yeah, the corners had some issues, but that's to be expected. I know a lot of people think you got to have a perfect game. Everyone's got to play at an all-pro level, but I just don't know where that narrative comes from. I have no idea. He's going to get it. I said it before we even drafted him. We're drafting this kid. He will be Defensive Rookie of the Year, and it's happening right in front of your faces. Miss Cleo, let's go. All about it. And I'll set them all on fire with you, though. I'll be real with you. Let's go. I'm all about it. They can hate, but at the end of the year, they better throw a little back on our names. I'll just, don't get me started. Now you're getting my fire started, and I'll don't, because how much they hate us, and they always, and then you'll have someone comment, no, good, we just want to win the Super Bowl. Yes, we want them to win the Super Bowl, but I also want them to get the accolades for how well they do. I don't like them shitting all over us. Respect needs to be given here when it is earned. So, just saying, get me all worked up. But Nurse set Dak jersey on fire. Oh, well, Dak is just terrible. So I gotta feel so horrible for them. No, I don't. I think it is truly, truly beautiful. And yeah, man, the linebacker position, Tim. It's I told you guys this offseason, I wasn't scared like a lot of people were about it. I think that once Dean comes back, it's gonna be even better, man. I think that all those guys we talked about having Cunningham and Morrow, you remember that segment talking about who we should add. Those guys, one can help in coverage, one can help in run. You have them with Dean, they help his future. I'm all about it. All about it. Yeah, Morrow's been playing great. So has Cunningham. They have both been fantastic. So, look, it's going to be a good problem to have for sure. And look, Dak, they can sit here, try to compare him to Hurts, do whatever they want, but unfortunately, they're going to have to figure out football eventually here. So, yeah, we talked about it last night, man. And if you guys are missing any of those stats, anything that you want to know, check out throughout the week. I provide you with all of the things you could ever possibly need to know. And Carter last night with those 2 sacks. And you remember from the top matchups, Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter both going into the game 1.5 sacks, 2 tackles for a loss. Carter adds 2. So he went into the game with 1.5 and added 2 to it. So that's where you get those 3.5. You love to F and see it, but it was one of those top matchups. And you remember, what this kid, we talk about is going to mean to this team. So you don't have to rush it. We have Cox here, Milton Williams, Jordan Davis. And dude, just stay patient. A lot of people, he needs more reps, and this guy needs, it's just stay patient. These young guys are the future. There's a reason I've been calling dynasty here, and they're about to be repeating it. I can assure you of that, ladies and gentlemen. But that's all I've got for you. It has been a hoot throwing it down with you on this Monday night, celebrating this victory. But look, tomorrow I will be back with Behind Enemy Lines. You will be getting all of the information you need to know about the New York Jets heading into this Week 6 matchup. Another 4 o'clock game. Oh, my Lord. But yeah, I just was explaining that. If you miss it, you can hit the rewind to about a minute ago. I was talking about that salary cap situation, and we also talked about it throughout the offseason. You want to go check out any of those videos. Milton Williams, hey, baby, all year. He has more snaps than Jordan Davis in each game. It was weird here in the media. Oh, you're going to see him get a chance. It's like, dude, he's been playing all year and kicking ass. I think they just get caught up with watching the stats and not understanding that it really has nothing to do with them. I mean, yes, they're a great thing to look at, and this guy did this, but this dude's been out here, and let them keep sleeping. They're going to wake up real soon with all the players that I talked about this offseason. It happens each year, dude. It's hilarious, but they'll hate until that moment, and then all of a sudden they are geniuses, and it's just too funny to me. And look, man, we talked about all that. I talked about him, and when I said he was compared to Jerome Brown, the next Eagles great D tackle, got a lot of slack for that. But I just heard Merrill Reese repeat that. So you can take it up with him. That's somebody I grew up watching my whole life, listening to on the radio. I respect what he has to say. So if he's agreeing with me, I really think that people are going to understand why I thought he was such a generational talent. This dude is a wrecking ball, dude. Just wait. He's only getting started. Just keep that in mind. The same with Sidney Brown. And Nolan Smith, we talk about he's got a long ways to go here, but he's, sixth down there or fifth in the edge rusher department. That's okay. He's got time. Go check out that snap count video. It's got everything you need to know. Here, I'll show you a little preview here. So it shows you each position here. So you see the running backs. You get to see if they're inactive, how many snaps. You see with Boston Scott, he's got 0 snaps. But then at that last page, you actually get the special teams, and you get to see how many reps each person got, how many snaps on special team, and you got the whole damn defense in there too. So each position is covered, broken down what was going on. They're in order for how many snaps, who led the way, and you can check it all out. And of course, we took a look at the divisional standings too, with the Eagles 5-0. And as we talk about, they keep doing their thing. They will stay atop the mountain, not only in the East, but the entire FC. And then, of course, by the end of the year, on top of the NFL, sticking that flag, and whoever wants to come get some, as long as they don't try to slop that field. But, dude, I don't care. They can try to wet the field, do whatever they want. This year, we are coming for blood. I can promise you that. And, yeah, man, they've been repeating me a lot lately, and it's awesome to see it, dude, because when you sit here for 6 months and say something over and over again, or like years with Jalen Hurts, and then people just take that from you, and then they sell hats and shirts, and they're like, yeah, and it's like, I've been okay, but it's weird to me, man. It's really weird, man. So I will sit here and continue to do it, and they can hate me for it, but it's just nuts to see when they start repeating it. That's all we want, man. We want them to be fans. That's all we're asking. And, oh, boy, I was lucky to be very young. But, go check that video out, Alex. Love to hear from you. I got to get rolling here, though, guys. If you do watch it, you can always comment. I'm always down to talk some birds, and there's a lot of great information. Talk about a lot of the stats and everything else during that video. It's not live, so you get to just go right through it, get all the information you need. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Tune in tomorrow. Behind enemy lines, baby. Getting to know everything about the Eagles' Week 6 opponent, the New York Jets. But I hope you're all having a great night. What a great way to start the week 5-0. And, of course, the Cowboys suck. Thank you, Alex. I'm glad you enjoy those graphics. Hopefully you enjoy that show if you check it out. And hopefully you guys will be tuning in throughout the week, getting all that information, all of the stats, all of the injuries, everything you could possibly ever need to know about both teams, not just the Eagles. I will continue to do that every single week. If you're wondering what I mean, go back to any of the weeks prior, and you can see how the weeks are set up, all of the injury reports, everything that you would ever need to know. I will keep you up to date. And yes, we talked about that vividly there earlier. But, enjoy your night, day. Drew, get your ass to bed about 2 a.m. Well, it's past 2 a.m. there for you. Oh, my Lord, the dedication. Love to see it. But to all of you who tuned in, I cannot thank you enough. Liz, China, Drew, my man Alex, Luffy, all of you, Travis, Anton, Tim was in here. BMO, I know you were in here earlier. Chris, my hitman. You guys, you're all too kind for taking the time tonight. I really want to thank you enough. Goldie, I know you tuned in here at one point. Better late than never. And look, anybody else I missed, just because I'm a drifter. But if you're watching this later, I appreciate you too. And you want to talk some birds, all you got to do is comment down below. If you got anything from this, do me a favor, hit that like button. You can always subscribe. Join us when we're talking some birds. 5-0, baby. And I'm looking forward to next Monday being right back here for Victory Monday, 6-0. Let's effing go. But until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. Hope you all have a great rest of your night. Stay safe out there, and as always, with me now, go Birds!